Ep.327 Fulton. Ep.327 Fulton. Okay. 4234 in the beat is coming over to domestic battery at 1815 North Winchester, 18.5 North Winchester. Danny stated the caller and the owner of the vehicle. Alright, thank you. 113, Robert 11. You guys are okay over there? Someone shot there. Alright, did you guys take pictures of the, is it domestic related? She's calling back. We're going to try to give her a apology, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson, possibly with the daughter. Her level is this. 2412. Veteran Chris Thomas calling in today of a female veteran authentication. She's worth the same reason. You're checking 12, take a check them out.
Rumble, 2.7.
Offender in custody. Please come forward. Thanks. Anyone else?
What a crazy night. What a crazy night. What's up, everybody? Sorry about all the delays. That's one thing I need to do tomorrow is I need to fix all my cameras. That's one thing I haven't quite done yet this week after the setup. But yeah, it was when to go live. Where's my internet? When you get a message from the internet company saying there's an outage, it's a pretty big deal, I guess. Man, it took forever. It said 9 p.m. Waiting and waiting and waiting. So, we'll be having a late night episode. I will anyway. I know it's late for you guys. I apologize about that. But I was even nervous firing one up right now. like right in the middle of going live, I got the message from the internet company saying it was restored, and I'm like, well, I hope so, because I already hit the live button. I was literally waiting, and like as soon as it didn't reset on its own after like 30 seconds, I waited about 10-15 minutes, and it didn't reset. So I went ahead and was like, well, I think it's good. I'm not waiting. Need to go live. Let's do it. So we're doing it. Sorry about that. So I see. What's this Miss Vargas stuff? Who's Miss Vargas? Oh, I'm sorry. I was really. It was. Because I was like, well, I could have. Because I have this with me just in case my mobile hotspot, right? For when I'm on the road. Or even on the phone. And I'm like, it was one of those decisions I was trying to do. I was like, well, I can go live at normal time, but I'll be going off a mobile hotspot, which I don't mind doing. But just thinking about the future and thinking about all of the trips coming up and the time driving that I might need it, I was like, I'll just wait until it comes back on. I'll save this mobile data. I don't know. I barely used it. I had to use it at the hotel in PA, the mobile hotspot. Even at the hotel, it was horrible. It was horrible. So I used it at the hotel, and I think it was like, and I could be wrong, but I thought it was like $50 for 10 gigs of a card to preload on the wireless internet. And I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, damn, it says I used up 2.84 gigabytes already out of 10. And I'm like, I didn't even run that much when I was at the hotel. So that's why tonight I was like, let me just save the wireless hotspot for these trips. I'll just bump it. I didn't think it was going to be this long. It was only supposed to be a little bit, and then it just kept dragging and dragging and dragging, which always makes it fun. So, yeah. But what's the Miss? Who's Miss? Oh, Miss Vargas. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Truth and transparency. Hold on one second. Oh, hell no. I didn't even watch it. Damn. Good shit, TNT. Damn. Good shit. She's so awesome. She's so awesome. She's so awesome. Man, that's so awesome. I used to be in the chats all the time, and you know how I'm always about peace, positivity, and progress. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, I've wanted to donate her coffee cups a whole bunch. And it's been a while since I have. But the reason I haven't is because I'm always about the peace, positivity, and progress, And the last thing that I want to do is be a distraction in somebody's chat. And with all the bullshit and all the fucking hate that's been unwarranted in my direction, that is in the, I've gone and supported some of these other channels And when I get in there, the bullshit and the venom that comes in my direction, and and even if I say this, email me if you have a fucking, like, email me. This is about this person's show. This is not about how you know what I'm saying? And I feel bad because I haven't been able to be in her chats for a while. Not because I wasn't allowed, because I'm not trying to be that negative distraction. And if that means that I got to chill in the cut and support you from afar while this dumb fucking bullshit. So, shout out to TNT because I love you. I appreciate you. I just have enough respect for her that I'm not even gonna. We're not even, time will go by. And I'll be giving her them coffee cups again. So I just want to say shout out to her. I appreciate her. There's something that I don't know if you guys are into space or not, but I wanted to play this real quick as we start the show. I don't know if you guys are into outer space or not, but I am. I love outer space. And we're going to check out that Vargas thing tonight, too. We're late nighting it. Is she still live? I don't want to check it out while she's live. I don't want to check it out while she's live. But I love outer space. Always have since I was a little kid. And just the possibilities, So this is something that's exciting because this happened a while back. It's been a while. I actually watched, and I'll be doing a NASA thing on Sunday. I actually watched when this took place, when the satellite landed on the asteroid and picked up a sample real quick and shot back up. And I watched it live on NASA. And man, it was so exciting to see something like that be successful. So I'm going to play this real quick. It's regarding that, and that sample is about to come back to Earth. So I'm excited. I just want to play this real quick. I love space. There we go. What's up, everybody? So sorry about the delay.
If you saw the Bruce Willis movie Armageddon, the next story may sound familiar, but this one's real. 7 years ago, NASA launched its OSIRIS-REx mission. The goal was to collect samples from a moving asteroid and bring them back to Earth. Moving asteroid. Just pause for a
so
second.
cool.
Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
The spacecraft is now about to deliver its precious cargo after traveling for nearly 1 billion miles, but the return to the planet is not easy. NASA senior scientist Amy Simon joins us now from Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. Amy, welcome. Thanks very much for being with us. So before you talk about the mission, could you first tell us what exactly an asteroid is and why would we want to study them?
Absolutely. So asteroids are small rocky bodies. They're essentially the leftover remnants from when the solar system formed. And because they are pristine examples of planetary building blocks, we want to study them because they're going to tell us a lot about how the Earth and all of the planets in our solar system were formed.
Amy, OSIRIS-REx is really a complicated mission. As we mentioned, the asteroid is moving. It is out in space. We are chasing it, trying to puncture a little sample hole and then bring it back to Earth. Given that we've had asteroids crash into the Earth, we have samples from that. Why is it so important to undertake this complicated mission?
Really, the reason that we need to do a sample return versus relying on meteorites that have landed on the Earth is that contamination factor. We really want this pristine example.
It's a different molecular freaking object when it goes from, I mean, yeah, you want the absolute, you know, something that is before it interacts with the atmosphere and the gravity and the heat and oxygen and all of these different things.
Example of material that has not been sitting on the Earth's surface or burned up in the atmosphere. So it's really to get that very pure sample that we can study in our laboratories here.
And give us a sense of, without going maybe too in the weeds, but I remember covering this actually when OSIRIS-REx,
I'll open up panel with you.
Back then, several years ago,
I want to watch that.
Was first sort of underway, and the tremendous calculations, right, Amy, that had to take place in order to get the.
I apologize to Grizz too. We were supposed to go live tonight and go over that map stuff, and it might be too late for him. It sucks. It sucks. This
trajectory just right to get at that target. So the return is going to, as I understand it, be equally perhaps as complicated. Tell us what the challenges are with getting this back here to Earth.
Sure. So, you know, even getting out there, as you say, was a challenge. It took us about 2 years for the spacecraft to catch up to Bennu in the first place. And then once we were in orbit, we spent about 2 years mapping out the surface to very carefully pick that safe location to take our sample from. And then another couple of years to get back to Earth, because again, the timing has to be just right to get into the right spot in the orbit. And what we'll see on Sunday is that the spacecraft is going to release that sample return capsule. It's going to enter the Earth's atmosphere, and we're going to be using parachutes to slow it down. So it'll land on the desert floor in the Utah Test and Training Range. And then our recovery team will spring into action to go pick it up and to put it into a temporary facility.
How fast will it be traveling, Amy? Just so I have a sense. I should mention,
we want all the details.
Going like billions of miles. Like, how fast is it going to be going? It's going to be going fucking fast.
Amy?
I asked because I was just on a plane back here, actually, to New York, and I was watching as the plane map was telling us how fast we were going. And now thinking about what your mission is, to think about traveling 3.9 billion miles to get back from Bennu is remarkable.
Yeah, and it is traveling fast. The way to think about it is from that Earth entry point when it's just at the top of the atmosphere, which is way higher than an airplane. That'll happen. It comes in pretty fast.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the possibility, because this
is that in the morning or at night, though?
Let's talk a little bit more about the possibility, because this is.
So the way to think about it is from that Earth entry point when it's just at the top of the atmosphere, which is way higher than an airplane. That'll happen at about 10:42 Eastern time. It'll be on the ground at 10:55. So it comes.
Is it going to be in the morning? Do you know, Randy? I'm excited as hell. I can't wait. Because I'm going to be doing. I'll be doing my sports show. But I want to, maybe while we're doing sports like sports in space or something on Sunday. I'm doing my sports show.
Comes in pretty fast.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the possibility, because this is.
I'd like to watch it live.
Space exploration study is so important.
Yeah.
OSIRIS-REx didn't just grab.
I would like to live stream the descent into Earth's atmosphere, you know, whether I'm on a sports show or what. I already got the NASA live stream saved for Sunday. I wrote it down. Sunday at 4 p.m. Oh, so wait a minute. But it's mountain time. It's mountain time. So, yeah, but that's... Why wouldn't they be live streaming? Something don't make sense. Maybe it's a separate live stream that I saved. She said 10 what? 10 1040, 1050?
It is from that Earth entry point when it's just at the top of the atmosphere, which is way higher than an airplane. That'll happen at about 1042 Eastern time. It'll be on the ground at
1042, 1050. So that would be... So like noon. So well, it'll be landed. That'll be cool. It'll be right before sports because I'll be doing. Because I was gonna try and do my sports show during the first football game. I kind of wanted to talk sports and then also do updates and stuff. Yeah. Oh, this is so neat. I can't wait to find it. You know, and there's going to be more testing and stuff like that, but I can't wait to find out like what kind of unknown chemicals or compounds are in this, you know? It's so exciting. They actually landed on a frickin' asteroid, took a sample and shot back out. It was crazy. What a mission.
55. So it comes in pretty fast.
Well,
here.
let's talk a little bit
Crashed
more
in,
about
took a
the
sample,
possibility,
shot
because
right
this
back out.
is why space exploration study is so important. OSIRIS-REx the mission didn't just grab these samples, but it also studied the asteroid in unprecedented detail. I'm wondering if you can tell us if anything surprised you about the study, and what would surprise you the most when the samples return to you? Is there anything that you're hoping to learn?
Sure. So we did spend that 2 years mapping it out in detail down to the tiniest pebbles because we really did want a nice place where we could get to that sample. And the big surprise we found was that there were no nice, clear depressions full of loose material. The whole surface was covered with boulders. So that was a challenge in and of itself to try to find that sample that, you know, we could safely pick up. But really, the purpose of doing this is because our laboratories have far more sophisticated equipment than we could ever fly with us. And so we really want to get those samples in the lab and be able to look at the composition, look at those rocks under microscopes. And, you know, what are we hoping to see? Well, we're hoping that we'll see organics, we'll see amino acids, the building blocks of life, as well as evidence for past water on Bennu, because all of these things are the sorts of materials that asteroids and comets delivered to the Earth when it was forming and helped life to be able to flourish.
And from here, OSIRIS-REx becomes OSIRIS-APEX, right, Amy?
Yes, it does.
All right. Well,
so
go for it.
Once we release our sample, we will divert the spacecraft, and it will head on to its next target, which is near-Earth asteroid Apophis.
All right. We'll check in with you on that, as well as any interesting organics that you find when you look at the sample. Amy,
they're gonna send that thing back out into space?
Its next target, which is near-Earth asteroid Apophis.
All right. We'll check in with you on Rex becomes OSIRIS-APEX, right, Amy?
Yes, it does.
All right. Well, go for it.
Once we release our sample, we will divert the spacecraft, and it will head on to its next target, which is near-Earth asteroid Apophis.
All right. We'll check in with you on that, as well as any interesting organics that you find when you look at the sample.
Whoa. Catherine Ramsland did an interview? Hold on a minute. What? You know, I was gonna go to CrimeCon, but it's better that I wait. I have too much other work I need to do right now. Next year will be more beneficial because it's for the long haul. But dang, there's finally an interview with Ramsland.
crime experts, victims' family members. They come together for this conference every year. I've really learned a lot already. And if you are a fan of this show, Banfield, you've probably seen Dr. Catherine
I'll be there next
Ramsland
year.
on the show before. She's a
Right
serial
here.
killer expert. We have all sorts of people on the show, but I've always just been fascinated by Dr. Ramsland because she studies serial killers. I've wanted to know, like, what is Dr. Ramsland really like? What would she be like to meet in person? Because we've only interviewed each other through the screen. So I was determined to find her. I found out she was at the crime conference today. Like, I was literally almost like a stalker going up and down the halls trying to talk to her. I finally tracked her down. I want you to hear our conversation. So I'm here with Dr. Catherine Ramsland, a serial killer expert. I basically had to stalk you to find you because I'm such a big fan. I was like, I'm going to find Dr. Ramsland at this CrimeCon convention. But how has it been so far? You gave a speech today. I mean, a lot of people are very interested in your research. How's it going so far at CrimeCon?
This is my third CrimeCon. I was on a panel today, and great audience, large audience. They had a lot of good questions. And we were really able to talk about why do we study these people in a way that will help us to prevent future serial killers. And that's probably the most important part of the kind of work we do.
So you're always talking about other cases, but what I thought was interesting was you opened up today about your own personal story of why perhaps you're so interested in all of this. It's something family related.
So I was asked the question, how did I get into it? I talked about during my childhood, there was a serial killer in my town, but also I have stuff in my background.
Are you serious?
That's got
Are you freaking serious, Randy? Oh my gosh, in Nashville? No shit. Are you fucking serious? This is crazy. In freaking Nashville. Oh my gosh. Could you get any more perfect? Wow.
Violence associated with it.
Give me one more year and then go to CrimeCon in Nashville. Wow.
My father's mother was murdered. I never knew her. She was, and my.
Why would she say her father's mother? Why wouldn't she say grandma? Why wouldn't you say grandma? Maybe she had another grandma and that happened before she was alive. So she didn't look at her as a...
That's got violence associated with it. My father's mother was murdered. I never knew her. She was, and my great-grandfather on the other side of the family tried to poison everybody so he could run off with someone else, and that didn't work. But there's certainly violence in the background that's kind of trickled down to me.
Tried to poison the whole family?
Tried to poison the whole family, yeah.
Have you ever looked into that since you're interested in crime?
There's family secrets. It's hard to penetrate walls. I have that much information, but I didn't get to find out much more.
So interesting. Do you think that did influence you into doing the work you do?
I think it influenced me because one of the things when we'd go on family trips, my father would sing songs about dying and death and getting shot and gunslingers and stuff. So,
wow.
So it influenced him because I believe he found his mother murdered. So it influenced him, but I think it kind of came through him to me without my realizing that was the, sort of a trigger for me.
So interesting, because I always wondered what made you so interested. I want to ask you while we have you about BTK. So much talk about him lately, especially possibly connected to other cases. The DA came out and said that they don't have enough evidence right now. There's a task force, though. What do you think? Do you think, you spent a lot of time with him. Do you think that he's connected to other unsolved cases?
Well, I talk with him a lot about that. And what we have are items that a law enforcement is interpreting one way and later physical evidence. Don't convict him on innuendo. There's items you can test, get them tested. Let's see what happens. That doesn't mean those cases are going to get closed, but if I were the family...
Well, it doesn't look like it's fixed because it looked to me like I just cut out. Maybe it's not quite fixed yet. It looked to me like I just cut out. Sorry.
Enforcement is interpreting. My
Let me
father would
rewind
sing
it just
songs
a little
about
bit.
dying and death and getting shot and gunslingers and stuff. So,
Wow.
so it influenced him because I believe he found his mother murdered. So it influenced him, but I think it kind of came through him to me without my realizing that was the, sort of a trigger for me.
So interesting, because I always wondered what made you so interested. I want to ask you while we have you about BTK. So much talk about him lately, especially possibly connected to other cases. The DEA came out and said that they don't have enough evidence right now. There's a task force, though. What do you think? Do you think, I mean, you spent a lot of time with him. Do you think that he's connected to other unsolved cases?
Well, I talk with him a lot about that. And what we have are items that a law enforcement is interpreting one way, and Rader has his own interpretation. And my feeling is get actual evidence. Don't convict him on innuendo. There's items you can test, get them tested. Let's see what happens. That doesn't mean those cases are going to get closed. But if I were the family of somebody that's the focus of a cold case, I don't want it closed by innuendo. I want to close with proof. And Rader has said, why wouldn't I confess? I confess to all the others. Why wouldn't I go for it? And he doesn't have any consequences to do so. He feels like he doesn't want to confess to something he didn't do. That's his position. I don't know if he's telling the truth or not. I say, let's get evidence.
Do you think he would have told you by now if these things were true?
Not necessarily. I don't think if he's going to hold it close to the vest, he's not going to tell anybody.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Ramsland, thank you. It's always a pleasure to interview you on TV, and it's so nice to see you in person.
Yes, very much so. I'm glad we met.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
Well, dang. Well, yeah. They have SM ever since she wrote the book. Like, they literally have a personal connection. Check this out here. Watch this sometime. So if I'm ever not live, when something like this happens, this is all the way back at episode 101 of my show. You want to talk about you want to talk about watching a show from the past, before a lot of these changes. Right there, episode 101. I did like a little collection piece of a show about Dr. Catherine Ramsland. Went into the background, went in through some of the interviews, things like that. So I'm telling you, I'm serious. You guys want to watch? You're gonna shit a brick. Like, if this is what you've watched of this show so far, is the presentation like you see right now. You go back to episode 101, you're gonna see, and then and if you haven't seen any of the other older episodes before, you'll sit back and you'll go, damn. He ain't lying when he said it's been organic this whole time. Especially when you go see episode 101, you'll be like, but that's the beautiful part about it. You can go to they'll be on YouTube as long as YouTube allows it to be on YouTube, episode 1 through whatever. There's going to be some episodes that aren't there. Those are, there's a 99 and a 160 something, there's just here and there. But yeah, you'll see. I think I had just gotten this microphone. So at least you get this microphone around that same time period. From there, so it looks like she's still live. I don't want to check it out while she's still live, but after she's definitely go. Let me share the link though. Go show her some love though, for real, because I'm gonna watch this after she's done. So I'm gonna drop this in, and if you want to go show some love and then come back, that's totally cool. Like she does great work. It's the Gabriela Vargas live with Truth and Transparency. So definitely click on it. Go show some love. Because we're gonna be watching this tonight. I'm gonna be watching it with you guys tonight after she's done. So definitely go show her some love and go hang out there, support, come on back when she's done. Seriously. Hey, whenever there's I suggest just make a playlist, Evil CJ Show. And anytime I throw out a link there, if you want to add it to your playlist, you already got the Evil CJ Show playlist that you can have. So it can go back to old episodes I recommend or different things like that. So when So when excuse me. So when nights like tonight happen, you're not just if that's your entertainment, well, you can be entertained from an old show and then laugh at me and give me shit because you guys got to watch just give it a month after the show's in like December, just give it a month and then December because no. All right, let me see what else we got here. I thought she was actually going to talk about Idaho. Here, it's supposed to go to You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play one of these videos. I apologize to Grizz, but what I'm going to do, and we'll get it scheduled, because I'm going to be featuring Grizz a lot more on here. We're going to be doing some collab stuff together. I'm going to go to that episode back when we talked about it, the map stuff, to give you guys an idea of what he's got and what he's about to. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I didn't quite understand some of it back then just because I wasn't really familiar with a lot of the different. Now that I went there and I've been there, I'm going to totally understand everything that's being talked about now, stuff that I didn't understand then. Let me see here. Okay, yes, this is something. John Kelly Profiler. Okay. I came across this video, and here's the channel. Let me move myself here. All right, there we go. John Kelly Profiler. Here's the link to the channel. And I think this is going to be a pretty interesting video. It's can we eliminate Richard Allen? So John Kelly Profiler. Can we eliminate Richard Allen after what we've heard the last couple days, right? So I want to check it out with you guys. I've never seen this channel before. It looks interesting. And I love checking out new channels and also showcasing them too. Let's see here. Just So join us as we look. This is just a 13-minute video. Join us as we look over possible evidence to see if RA can be eliminated as a suspect in the Delphi unalives. Okay, I might have checked his video out one time. This kind of looks familiar.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in. John Kelly, profile here, and welcome. Welcome to part 49 of our very sad series, Who Killed Libby German and Abby Williams? Very sad case, and we'd like to give our condolences and sympathies all to the friends and families
for real.
German and Abby Williams.
Respects.
Today's part 49, and can we
nose.
eliminate Richard Allen is the question. You know, I must say right now, as a disclaimer, that everybody's innocent is proven guilty in a court of law, including Richard Allen. I'd like to thank everybody for purchasing my book, all the purchases and feedback you've given me. I can't thank you enough. Discovering Lazarus, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of John Kelly, how I kicked a very heavy-duty cocaine addiction, became a counselor, moved on to psychotherapist, and then becoming a profiler. Can't thank you all enough.
Wow.
Really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's crazy.
And please feel free to comment on anything at all you hear today. And we always appreciate you subscribing if you like this. If you like us, please subscribe. You know, I have to talk about memberships as well. We're going to have we're going to be doing something with memberships not too far distant future. We will keep you posted. We're not exactly sure how we're going to handle it. Looks like it's going to be a private kind of membership situation.
Yep.
Today, in talking about
Discord
eliminating
for us
Richard
coming up
Allen,
this
I
weekend.
have to talk about my friend and colleague, Frank Adamson. Frank Adamson was the commander of detectives and ran the Green River case, was involved with not only Gary Ridgway, in the Green River case. You know, Gary, I think, admitted to 49 murders, but also was on the tail end of the Bundy case. And Frank was involved in the Bundy case as well, okay? Because Bundy and Ridgway came from that particular area up there in Washington. So that is something I was very happy to be involved in, and really truly became friends with Frank. Again, my friend and colleague and mentor. I've learned so much from him. And one thing he taught me, which is very important for all of you guys, all right? It's very important to understand that when you want to go out and you have a suspect and you want to find out if that suspect's guilty, try to eliminate him. If you can eliminate him from being a suspect, probably not the guy's probably not guilty. But if you cannot eliminate him and prove that he's innocent, then guess what? The case only gets better, because you can't prove he's innocent if he's really the guy, right? You can't eliminate him. So this is very, very important. With that being said, let's take a look at eliminating, Richard Allen. I have a hard time with it. We'll see what you guys think. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's go back to that day, right before the bridge. A man approached Libby and Abby before they went onto the bridge, when they were dropped off by Kelsey. Speculation is that he not only approached Libby and Abby, but tried to strike up a conversation with them. And then later on, Abby asked Libby, when they were coming across the bridge, if creepy guy or something to that effect was coming up behind her. Again, little speculation there, but I don't think too much speculation. You know, Richard Allen was considered a creepy guy all the way back to his days at Walmart, from what we understand and what we found out. And this is according to Joe Lynn's story and other women who worked there. Okay? They call him creepy. They felt he was very creepy, sexually creepy, bottom line. Fast forward a little bit here.
I know it is. It's a lot. That's a lot, And when you watch, like, there's no eye contact either. It's Katrina, look up the history of that correctional facility. There's a lot of complaints.
As they're coming across the bridge, Libby took a video of the bridge complaints. We found out. This is according to Joe Lynn's story and other women who worked there. Okay? They call him creepy. They felt he was very creepy.
Westville.
Sexually creepy. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Fast forward a little bit here. As they're coming across the bridge, Libby took a video of Bridge Guy. Of Bridge Guy, not Bridge Guys. Okay, so we're clear on that. There's also an understanding or speculation that Bridge Guy passes by the girls, supposedly pulls a gun, supposedly you could hear it click, and then he says the three great words, infamous words, down the hill. Ellie puts out his voice. Ellie puts out his voice. Law enforcement in Delphi puts out his voice. Very smart. Let's put his picture out. Let's put his voice out and try and catch this guy. Okay? The bottom line is that there is only one voice. It's not voices. Okay? There's only a picture of one guy and there's only a voice of one guy. There's not multiple guys, bridge guys, there's not multiple voices. All right? So let's everybody focus in on what we pretty much know or really suspect. Ellie does not put out voices of other men talking from Libby's phone. She had that phone going. I think they have some tape still left on that phone. I think there's some information still on that phone and some words still on that phone that they didn't divulge. Now that's interesting to me because if they put out Bridge Guy's voice, if there was another voice on that phone, why wouldn't they put that out as well? Because maybe somebody could recognize the other voice. Don't forget, there was a full court press on this.
It sounded to me like it was one.
Bridge Guy was. One picture, one voice is what I know of. I can't see them holding back certainly any pictures, and I
like from whatever that dude was saying. I don't know. When I listened to it earlier, to me it sounded like one freaking voice. It didn't sound like two, so I don't know. I don't know. This guy said that people were going to be mad at him tomorrow morning or whatever. Now, Court TV, they did something from CrimeCon, so I'm going to go to that because I know that they were going to be talking about this case at CrimeCon, and they ended their episode here a little bit ago.
Truly believe.
And I think
there's only
it's going to be
one voice of one possible predator.
Come on, YouTube.
On that phone.
And it'll be in the middle of the week. I'm going to be heading down to Charleston, South Carolina to cover some Stephen Smith stuff. So we'll be hitting the road again here soon in a couple days. So get prepared for that trip. We're going to be going to Charleston, South Carolina, and all the different spots and locations of Stephen Smith's crime. We will be going to the crime scene. We're not going to be doing Google Guy. We're going to be live on the ground. I'm going to be taking you guys there. I'm going to be walking the path, and I'm going to be showing you guys there. And I am going to be doing a show tomorrow night. Stephen Smith, kind of like a recap of a Stephen Smith recap before I go on my trip, just to kind of, if you're not familiar with the case, I'm going to kind of go over different things of old shows and kind of show you guys. It'll be a recap before I head out on the road, so you guys will kind of understand this trip. So I'll put the link to the playlist that I have if you haven't saved that one. Where is it? Here's the link to the playlist. Definitely check out the theories and interviews. The ones towards the end is where a lot of the deep dives are going on. After we kind of collect, it's a long one. It's like 15 episodes, I think. But as you get into it, the ones towards the end are where like there's like a lot of the deep dives and stuff like that. There's the specials. It's like 5 episodes, something like that. Different interviews. Definitely check that out.
And I truly believe, there's only one voice of one possible predator on that phone, or the law enforcement would have put it out that there were more, and you would have heard their voices. Ellie circles back now to the beginning of the investigation, because at this point in the investigation, with all the information that's out there, by the voice, by the video that's been constantly playing for years, okay? There are no suspects, no definite suspects that can be pinned down.
We'll be having a recap tomorrow night.
The people
Stephen
of interest
Smith episode
that have been eliminated, but there is no particular suspect that Ellie's drawn down. So Ellie circles back, smart move, to the beginning of the investigation, and finds out that Richard Allen was on the trails that day, around that time, but says he didn't see the girls. Okay. This was reported to some type of game commissioner, game official, game officer, wildlife supervisor, I don't know, somebody that wasn't a regular cop or detective working the investigation specifically. So now they find out Richard Allen put himself there that day, put himself on the trail that day. So, of course, being good detectives, they're going to take a look at Richard Allen. He put himself there, right? Then we fast forward and Libby's bodies are found. There's an unspent bullet, okay? And it's found that Ellie says can be connected to Richard Allen's pistol. Because as they checked out Richard Allen from being there that day, they could see he owned certain pistols, okay? And I think some other weapons as well. Definitely knives, I know that. I don't know about rifles, shotguns, or whatever, but I assume a lot of people up there do a lot of hunting. But they did connect a pistol, okay? And they did connect an unspent round to Richard Allen's pistol, okay, when they did the search warrant. And a lot of this can be thrown out if the defense is correct. The search warrant can be thrown out, and then that means, anything that was found in the house, including the pistol, could probably be thrown out as well, out of the trial. So where do we start eliminating Richard Allen is what I want to know. Because if we're supposed to do this the right way, and we have a suspect that, we've got to try to eliminate him, right? If we can eliminate him, right, then he's not the guy. So I'm asking you guys, how do you eliminate Richard Allen? Versus the Odinites, whoever they are.
Right.
So,
I like this guy.
How do we eliminate Odinites that we don't even know who they are? We don't even have specific suspects, okay? There may be a person of interest here or there, but I'm talking about a suspect who the cops have drawn down on and who happen to even have incarcerated right now, okay? And he is only a suspect until he's
Yeah,
proven
but what
guilty in a
about
court of law, like I said in the beginning. So
what
how
about
do
the
we
state?
eliminate Richard Allen is the question. Why don't we think about that and,
Right, that's what
take
we're
your
focused
energy,
on,
put
not
your
the
energy
others,
into
right?
that.
That's what
How do
we're
you
focused
prove
on,
Richard Allen
not the others.
is not a suspect and did not kill these girls?
Right.
I mean, it has to be proven in court, but
Yes.
how do you start to eliminate him as a suspect here? And how can we eliminate so-called Odinites when none of them have officially been called a suspect to even begin with by law enforcement? You see what I'm saying? So it's very important here to not lose track of reality. The reality of Richard Allen, who is a live physical person who has been charged with the murder of Libby and Abby. Charged, okay? He's a suspect, all right? Not guilty yet, all right? We got to wait and see what the court says. How do you get off him and get onto some Odinite who really nobody seems to have any kind of physical proof whatsoever on? There's a lot of conspiracy theory, but there is too with Sasquatch and Bigfoot and everything else too. I want to see evidence, so-called probable evidence. Okay. And I'm asking you guys what you say, what you want to say. All right. So here's what we have. And then I don't know what we're looking for or what we've seen or what we have over here besides a theory. So anyway, I'd love to hear back from you guys. Tell me what you think. I truly appreciate you. Please stay safe out there. Please make it a good day. And send us your comments. Again, it's important to us on how you're digesting this, because there is a lot going on here. And there's family members and friends definitely who've been hurt, along with the, of course, murders of Abby and Libby. Okay, again, thank you so much. Until we meet again, God bless.
That was a pretty interesting video. I'm very let me back out of this.
Afternoon, everybody. Thanks.
Freaking YouTube, dude. Oh my gosh. He's not guilty yet for how many? I don't know. Like, who freaking knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it's like the Idaho 4 case. We all thought, well, I did anyway. I'll speak for myself. I ain't gonna speak for you. I thought dude was guilty as shit right after they arrested him, and the next month and a half or so, 2 months maybe, where I'm sitting here going, damn, this came out. Damn, this came out. Sorry if I sneeze again. I don't know what's going on with my sinuses tonight. Like, oh, there's a connection and all this other stuff. And then now look at it. It's like, what's the exact thing that is pointing? Like, yeah, you question a lot of things. Did it just change to fall like real fucking quick? It went from hot as shit to fall. Whew. Maybe my sinuses need a trip, get the hell out. And again, because I didn't have these signage issues yesterday. But like with the case, we were like, oh shit. Now a lot of the stuff I thought was connected and linked is not. So how do you know? How do you know? How do you know? With it looked a certain way until a few days ago. And then a few days ago, now we're like, whoa, hold on, what? I'm starting to question some stuff. So it's like, how do you know? Very interesting video. I'm glad I checked that out. I'm going to have to. I want to see what else. Hold on. Let's go back to his channel. I want to see what else. Let me throw this back up there. I want to see what else, what other videos he's got. Hold on. I like that. I like that quote right there. We don't only read the news, we make the news. Nice. Wow, this guy's on. Look at that. 25K. He's been featured on Investigation, Discovery, A&E, Fox News, News Nation, CNN, The New York Times, The Today Show, The Boston Globe, Inside Edition, People Magazine, The U.S. Sun, U.S. News and World Report, Boston Herald, New York Post, HLN, Daily Express, etc. I'll drop the link to the channel in chat again if you didn't catch it earlier. Well, here's the thing, Caddy. We don't know. There's a good point brought up. Okay. If there is, right? This is one of those claims, right? We also have to remember, as descriptive it was and as shocking as it was, these are also claims as well. Okay. So there's gonna be surveillance footage of this stuff, right? Whether they're taking videos, maybe taking videos, or especially you're not going to be able. There's going to be the stuff on the uniforms. You're going to see those in surveillance at the prison. So that right there, that can be easily. We need to wait until the prosecution comes up with their rebuttal, because I think that's when we're going to really see. Okay, we're going to kind of see like what's embellishment and what's not. So who knows? We'll see about that. That shouldn't be a secret, because the footage that shouldn't be a secret. Now being severely treated definitely could be a possibility too. I mean, look at the way there's obviously a difference. You look at BK, there ain't no difference. The system has already been reported multiple times for violations and things, but then when we're talking with Silky, she's like, well, yeah, they do. All of them get a lot of complaints. Some of them are frivolous. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to I'm hoping the prosecution comes out with a rebuttal soon, because I think they need to. After all that was dropped, they need to. And they definitely don't need to let all of that stuff sit out there for all these months until a trial happens. They definitely don't need to let that stuff sit out there. Not at all. So I don't know, but you look up, I'm going to be waking up to what? No way. 35. Oh, he's a well-known author? Wow. Yeah, he was like, yeah, I started. It was crazy. So this is. Ooh, I'd like to hear what he has to say about this cult stuff too, because I'm kind of like, you know, we were talking. I've had a lot of different. I've had a lot of different viewpoints on a lot of this stuff that came out in the court papers, right? A lot of different viewpoints with conversations, whether it's on the show or outside of the show. And I definitely have a lot of questions about it. Do I think that it's the be all end all? No, not really. When the court papers came out, I was like, "Holy shit." I mean, you got it all right there. Excuse me. Um but then with kind of talking about with people from different viewpoints and stuff as well, I was like, "Well, you know what? I could see how okay. That's why I'm saying earlier, I need to see the tree. I need to see the tree. I'll show you guys the pictures. I need to see the tree. I need to see, okay, if this is an F, which I'm not saying it isn't, it could be. But at the same time, it's like, I need to see the tree though, because that's going to tell me this right here. I need to see the tree. I need to see where the bark is on this. So because it maybe, depending on the bark, maybe that's it is an F. It just doesn't look like it because of the bark. And maybe that's why. Maybe because of the bark, that's the only way it could have been. So you definitely have to see it on the tree, you know. But I'm going to go to this. This has to deal with the cult stuff that we talked about that were in the court papers. So I definitely want to hear what that was a great video we just watched. I definitely want to hear what he has to say on that whole part. Yeah, I'm glad. Glad I ran into this.
Afternoon, everybody.
And if it was anybody from the community that sent me a link to shout them out, I appreciate it. Definitely. I remember the dude from like maybe a long time ago. We checked out a video. I don't remember what the case was or anything. But definitely, I enjoy the insight.
Thanks for tuning in. John Kelly, profiler here, and welcome to part 48 of our very, very sad series, Who Killed Libby German and Abby Williams. Very, very, very sad situation and case. I have to bring out that everybody is innocent, proven guilty in a court of law, and that certainly includes Richard Allen.
Ain't that crazy? Bautismo just dropped this. Thank you.
But that's just the way it works, okay? And I want to send a
everybody is innocent until proven guilty.
To the friends and family of Libby German and Abby Williams.
35.
Certainly, they've been through an awful lot.
Thank you.
And hopefully, they're going to cope with it over time. Also, I want to thank everybody for purchasing my book, Discovering Lazarus: The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of John Kelly. How I kicked a horrible cocaine addiction, became a counselor, a psychotherapist, and a profile. Thank you all so much for your purchases and for all your kind comments. Also, I want to mention we'll be doing memberships. You'll be hearing more about that. There's going to be some private memberships going on and private groups, with memberships. So we'll keep you posted on that when we have our act together on it. I think you'll find it very educational. And right now, let's get on to Richard Allen. Starting off here, and I would ask you to hang in to the end.
Ooh, I feel like I'm
going to have kind of a bit of a finale in the end that might sum everything up for you guys. Okay, so just try and hang in there. This is not a very long vid. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm interested to hear what he has to
Richard
say
Allen's
about
team
these.
dropped a lot of stuff yesterday, and they're blaming,
Yeah, they did. Oh
the
my
other
gosh.
nights for the death of Libby and Abby, and they're saying that this was a revenge killing for one reason or another. I don't know if they're talking about, some people are talking about somebody snitching, some people are talking about somebody having one of the parents of the girls having a relationship with a person from a minority. I mean, I truly am not clear on that. Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna pause this real quick because I just came across it and I gotta show you guys. If you guys want to hop on with me, this will be, let me see, live in 33 hours. So this will be Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'll be doing this before the sports show. This is going to be its own show on Sunday morning. I'm going to be live streaming the asteroid sample descent back into Earth. So I'm going to have, and it'll be, you know what? I might do it on this channel, actually. And then I'll just have my sports show over at the lounge. Or should I do the sports show? What do you guys want? Should I do the sports show over? No. I mean, I am going to be doing painting shows. Kind of different shows for you guys. But I'm definitely live streaming this. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm definitely live streaming this, though. The return.
There's been nothing like Osiris Rex in NASA's repertoire. I like to call it the Daredevil spacecraft.
We'll get back to this in a second.
10 seconds.
Sunday morning.
9, 8.
If you want to come hang out with me while I live stream this Sunday morning.
7, 6.
Coming back
5,
to Earth.
4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of Osiris Rex. Its 7-year mission to boldly go to the asteroid Bennu and back.
So cool. There we go. Broadcast begins 10 a.m. Eastern, September 24th. We'll be watching it live. Oh, I'm so excited. Just stream early, please. Well, I mean, I have the true crime, but it's the Evil CJ show, and I have a whole bunch of different shows I'm going to be bringing you. Different. I mean, I might as well. I might just keep the sports show over at the lounge. That's yeah. But something like this, I think I'm going to stream it over here. So I'll stream this on this channel, and then the sports show I'll do over at the lounge. But yes, Sunday morning. Yes. And here's the link for that live stream. I can't wait to do. I'm going to be doing my trip. I got to get ready for my trip to South Carolina, Charleston, go cover the Stephen Smith stuff. I'm going to take you guys live on location down there. That's going to be in the middle of the week. After I come back from that trip. So I'll probably be gone on that trip. And then when I come back from that trip, I'll be gone. I know I'll be spending at least one night in Charleston, maybe 2, depending on how, everything that I can get. Because I might be there for 3, either 2 days and 1 night, or 3 days and 2 nights. I'm not sure yet. It's always going to be on the fly. But I might end up staying there for 2 days, 3 nights, or 3 days, 2 nights, actually. That probably would be the best, but I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring all that stuff out. And then when I come back, that's when I'm going to work on getting the camera set up. So that that GoPro 11, shout out to the community. Thank you for that. That's going to be so cool. I need to learn that this weekend too. And I'll probably do that at the Hangout show too. But I'm going to be setting up my art area for the show now coming up too, because I'm going to be doing some canvas painting. And so if you want to do some painting, even if you think you're artistic or not, it's something that I want to do. And I've been talking about doing like a show where instead of drinking coffee, I'll just have a glass of wine. And I think that'd be really cool to have like wine and painting for a show once a week or something, where whether you want to join in and paint a picture that I'm going to be painting, I'm going to have different cameras set up at the same time, where you'll have one camera that's on the actual photo or whatever. So you'll see the actual photo, you'll see me painting it, and then there's going to be another camera that's on the painting itself. So you're going to have 2 different cameras of me painting, and then another camera focusing on the picture. So if you want to do it at home as well, then you can actually see the picture that I'm painting, and you can try and paint the same picture too. And if you want to send in a picture, you want to do the painting on your own while we do it on the show and hang out, and you want to take a picture of your painting and you want to send it in, I'll highlight it on the show too. I'll show everybody your painting as well. So you can come paint pictures with me. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I'd love to see what you paint, if you paint or if you art. I'll be doing drawings too. So there's going to be a lot of different things coming up. I'm excited. Yeah. Being able to do this, and shout out to the community because you guys are allowing me and making this available. I get to offer you all these different shows. I get to offer it all these different shows and these different ideas, but really I'm gonna be on the road a lot too. So I am gonna be going from community to studio, community to studio, community to studio, using the studio as a great um, a rest and recoup in between each, because I definitely need it. Like even today, I was still pretty exhausted from just the trips in the last week and a half. I mean, it's been a lot of driving. Even when we went up to Delphi, that was a good 6 hours or 7 hours or something that we were there. So plus you add on the trip time too. I mean, a lot of hours, a lot of miles. Definitely need the rest in between, but I love being here, and that's why I do these shows at home as well. But it's neat. We're going to be having a drone soon. We got the GoPro 11 for the I just got to learn it, so that's going to be a new feature. We're going to have better equipment. Not only I'm going to be able to have a clearer stream for you guys when it comes to these drives coming up in the future and being on location and getting footage, but I'm also going to be able to flip out a drone and send that baby up. So when we get to a cemetery and we're like, yeah, this is the connection. I can't really explain it to you just from a camera. I get to show you from a drone, and we get to fly it. So while we're on location, I can stop basically anywhere, and okay, no matter where I'm at, if I'm trying to show you guys something and I want to explain something to you, I can really show you with a drone too. So it's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming up. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you guys' support so much. And we're going to be doing some things. And it's about the justice, and it's about the truth, and about being respectful as well at the same time. Peace, positivity, and progress. That's what it's about. And that's what it'll always be about, especially to these communities. And shout out to them too. Now we'll get back into this. I want to hear what this guy has to say about this whole Odinist stuff, because I've kind of been like, the dude's already been, he was already at work. How could he do the crime, right?
We're talking about somebody snitching, some people are talking about, somebody having
There's a lot of crazy stuff in that paperwork.
Relationship with a person from
if you guys want me to read the documents, let me know and we can have an episode where we read the documents. But it would probably have to be a members only. So, just saying. But I will if you guys want me to.
A minority. I mean, I truly am not clear on that. Okay, but they're looking at it as a revenge sacrifice, and that kind of blows my mind a little bit. The question I have is, if these people did decide to kill one of the girls, why would they kill both of the girls if only one of the girls' parents is responsible for whatever? Okay, it's real simple. All right. And, whether it's snitching or minority or whatever else it is, I mean, it doesn't make sense to kill two when you only need to kill one. Okay. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Okay. The other problem I have is, why risk the murders and the sacrifice in the daytime? Murders and
that's a good question.
Broad daylight, people around up on the trail. Okay. Nobody heard any screaming. That doesn't mean they couldn't have, that one or two of these girls could have been screaming. Okay. So, it's much easier to kill one instead of two. Right. I mean, again, little common sense there. Okay.
He does bring up a good point. It happened in the morning. He brings up a good point. It happened in the... Oops, let me like this. It happened in the morning. And nobody did hear a scream either, right? It's a good point.
If only one is the target because of their parent, then we start to say, why not stalk and kill the girl at night in the darkness instead of in broad daylight in the middle of the day on a trail where there's other people? Why not at night? I mean, if somebody wanted to focus in and stalk one of those girls in the evening when it was dark, okay, and it was plenty dark up there, I mean, it'd be a lot easier target. Why go through all this trouble and risk again in the middle of the day? See, that doesn't make any sense to me. And other people are hiking the trail as well. This just doesn't
Thank you,
make any
Caddy.
sense.
Appreciate you.
A group of Odinites would come down and do something like this. From what I read.
Yeah, but I mean, there was even witnesses that spotted, right? Supposedly RA at the bridge. I mean,
or from what Richard Allen said, is that there were prison guards wearing Odin patches. Well, I mean, if they're connected to law enforcement, they're even prison guards around other prisoners. I mean, they have a certain amount of sophistication, or have heard stories, I'm sure, about what goes on in a murder, and I'm sure the Odinites would be sophisticated enough and concerned
What's up,
enough
Kaleidoscope? How you doing tonight?
Consider taking somebody out. I mean, killing a child. Don't forget, we're talking about child murder. All right. I mean, they're saying the Odinites are responsible for sacrificing and killing children. All right. I mean, this whole thing is getting pretty crazy as far as I'm concerned. But I mean, there would be some sophistication among the Odinite group if some of them are connected in some way to any way, shape, or form of law enforcement, and especially if they've had a criminal history, I mean, they would know enough not to act out the daytime and to focus on one instead of two, and to take care of it if they were going to do it at nighttime. When it comes to killing, they have some sophistication in that crew. I'm sure there's no doubt about it. I mean, this is somebody, I think, that just couldn't control their urge and impulsiveness. Obviously, it seems Richard's legal team wants to get out the search warrant or get rid of the search warrant. I'm sorry, they want to get out of it, get rid of it, however you want to say it. And I just wonder, of all the damning evidence that they're concerned about that Richard had at his house. I wonder, are there any pictures? Are there any damning pictures there that really are going to land on him in a very, very harsh way when it comes to trial time? So I can understand them trying to pull out any strings they can to, discredit law enforcement and discredit the judge and discredit, the probable cause stuff for the search warrant. I understand that. But still in all, wow. Richard, it's my understanding in the news that you already admitted to killing Abby and Libby. Okay, I don't know how true this is, but it's my understanding from seeing it in various places in the news that you admitted 3 times already to killing Abby and Libby. And now all of a sudden, we're putting a focus on the Odinites, okay? And, obviously, we do not have any damning proof on them, that they killed these girls, or we would have heard about that probably too yesterday, and Richard also, I'm concerned about Richard's letter, and just bringing it out. I mean, Richard, you wrote a letter, asking the court for help, for a lawyer, and you, in that letter, and asking for a lawyer and saying you couldn't afford an attorney.
Yeah, Snapchats and stuff.
You never said in that letter one time that you were not guilty. You never said in that letter one time.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Kill these girls, and that you are.
That's a good point. Listen to this. I like this guy. Whoever sent me a link to him, thank you.
Oh, it's my understanding in the news.
Good point. This is good stuff. Here's a link to this video.
Admitted to killing Abby and Libby. Okay, I don't know how true this is.
Right, we don't.
But it's my understanding,
especially after the papers,
various places in the news, that you admitted 3 times already to killing Abby and Libby. And now all of a sudden, we're putting a focus on the Odinites. Okay, and obviously, we do not have any damning proof on them, that they killed these girls, or we would have heard about that probably too yesterday. And Richard also, I'm concerned about Richard's letter, and just bringing it out. I mean, Richard, you wrote a letter, asking the court for help, for a lawyer, and you, in that letter, and asking for a lawyer and saying you couldn't afford an attorney, you never said in that letter one time that you were not guilty. You never said in that letter one time that you did not kill these girls and that you are innocent. I mean, that's pretty strange to me, because I don't know if you realize it or not, but the normal reaction of a person who is having their house invaded by the cops and being arrested for murdering 2 young girls, and if they're innocent, their reaction is going to be, my God, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? I never killed anybody. I never killed these 2 girls. this is insane. This is insane. This is complete nonsense. This is crazy. That's what a normal reaction would be from pretty much a normal person who gets jumped on and gets their house invaded by law enforcement that said they murdered, that said they murdered 2 little girls. Okay, that's what a reaction in my experience has been from people who are completely innocent and don't have a clue, and even people who are not completely innocent, okay, and do have a clue, okay, they would at least played a role. I mean, I can't believe in that letter. It's your business, and it's Richard's business. I think we can all agree that, he wrote the letter, so you can say what he wants. Doesn't mean he did kill them. Doesn't mean he didn't kill them. Okay, he's innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. And I also understand your defense team saying the FBI profiler said that the killers were involved in.
I know there was a lot of confessions. There's a lot of interesting details in that paperwork. If you guys want me to read through it sometime, we can. I did one of the read throughs already, but I'll do it again. I'm ready for the defense. Or the prosecution. I'm ready for the prosecution's rebuttal to this paper. These documents. Definitely interested to hear, because there's a lot of stuff in those papers. If you have anything, please send it to these links right here, and I'll show it on the show.
Nordic beliefs. I understand that. But I got to tell you something. It's extremely hard for me to believe that somebody from the behavioral science unit down in Quantico is going to come out and say, yes, this is someone with Nordic beliefs, and focus strictly on that. That's not how it works. I do not believe that. I do not believe that. They may talk about, well, right now at this point in time, we have to take everything under consideration. Could be this, could be that.
What's up, Flower Power?
Over here, over there. I mean, there could be a number of theories, which there always is.
It's about that piece.
And that's why all this brainstorming takes place to go through these theories. But to turn around and to say that the FBI profiler said the killers were involved, or even one profiler said the killers were involved in Nordic beliefs, and that's guaranteed. Okay, I mean, that's hard for me to believe, because as a profiler, he would be putting his reputation on the line, and the FBI is extremely, extremely careful with anything at all like that. The Indiana State Police say the FBI never made such a statement, by the way. Yeah, the Indiana State Police say the FBI never made such a statement.
Okay, and blah, that's kind of interesting how your comment, right? But hold on. It's kind of interesting. He just responded to that as you put that comment up. I'll play that again one more time.
Talk about, well,
sorry, I had to blow my nose. My sinuses.
We have to take everything under consideration. Could be this, could be that, could be this over here, over there. I mean, there could be a number of theories, which there always is. And that's why all this brainstorming takes place to go through these theories. But to turn around and to say that the FBI profiler said the killers were involved, or even one profiler said the killers were involved in Nordic beliefs, and that's guaranteed.
What the hell, StreamYard? Let me give you the link to this video.
Always is. And that's why all this brainstorming takes place to go through these theories. But to turn around and to say that the FBI
StreamYard's having
sinus
issues too.
One profile said the killers were involved in Nordic beliefs, and that's guaranteed. Okay, I mean, that's hard for me to believe, because as a profiler, he would be putting his reputation on the line, and the FBI is extremely, extremely careful with anything at all like that. The Indiana State Police say the FBI never made such a statement, by the way. Yeah, the Indiana State Police say the FBI never made such a statement. So, I don't know. I think we've got some problems there with all that stuff that was dumped yesterday to try and get rid of, to try and proclaim your innocence and to try and get rid of the search warrant. I understand why they're doing it, but it's a little much for me to be able to digest. Now, Richard, or the whole team, do you think the Odom crew is so stupid that they would pose the girls in such a way that would lead right back to them? I mean, if you are a Nordic crew and you're out to kill some people and sacrifice them or whatever, you want to get away with the crime, I'm sure, right? I mean, you don't want to have the cops knocking on your door halfway later, putting the cuffs on you and hauling you off to prison, right? So when you would pose the girls, I mean, you would not pose them in a way where it's going to look like at the crime scene that you did the murders, that your Nordic crew did the murders, right? I mean, why would anybody with any brains at all expose themselves like that to the murder of two little girls? We're talking about two children. We're talking about children here. Okay, I get concerned with this and I get mad. I mean, I have all these mixed emotions because it's so ridiculous. The FBI denies the girls were posed in a Nordic sacrificial way, that they said the girls were posed in a Nordic sacrificial way. Okay. They may have said, well, maybe there's a possibility, because at that point in time, I mean, again, you've got a multitude of theories going, all right? You see, what I want to bring out, Richard, and whoever else, may hear about this, they weren't posed, they were staged. Now, as much as you say the FBI,
just go to our episode from either this morning or the other night when it comes to the kind of trying to stay away from the graphic parts.
Came out and said they were posed in a Nordic sacrificial way. Okay. And the FBI is denying it. I can tell you for sure, okay, that one FBI agent came out and said that the girls were staged. Okay. Now, let me give you the differences between staging and posing so you have a good understanding, okay?
This guy's very
Definition
informative.
From the U.S. Department of Justice. 3 specific motives for posing. Fantasy offenders pose a body to satisfy a perverse sexual fantasy. I'm buying that. That this was definitely a fantasy, a perverse sexual fantasy, and that's why these girls were posed. Retaliation. Offenders pose a body out of anger. That's posing, okay? They're angry, they want retaliation, they're into a fantasy. All makes sense to me. I see it all the time. Okay.
Well, it hasn't. We have to wait. Blah.
Stage.
There is a gag order now. I'm not going to say the twigs aren't very odd when you're walking up. I mean, we've covered this, but we still have to wait for the rebuttal. There's been a gag order with this case. There's some stuff that we just you're right, but there's some stuff we just don't know for sure yet. We're not at that water cooler. But with these documents that came out, that's why I keep saying I'm very, very interested to hear what this rebuttal is for real. Yeah, very interested, and they better not leave this open ended for an extended period of time, because that's just as wrong uh, as well.
Agent. See, this is the difference between posing and staging. Staging is the offender puts the body and poses the body to make it appear to be a sex-related murder to mislead the police investigation, or they portray in any other kind of way to mislead the police investigation. The key words here: to mislead the police's investigation. That's where the staging comes in. Now, the bad news I got for you, Richard, the bad news I got for you is that an FBI agent that surveyed that crime scene and went over that crime scene and who was involved in getting the affidavit for the search warrant of Ron Logan's property said in her affidavit that it was staged. She petitioned the judge for the search warrant of Ron Logan's property based on the reason that she felt it was staged. The crime scene was staged, not posed, but staged. Staged in a certain way to throw off law enforcement and have them looking in a different direction. Like maybe instead of looking at you, looking at the, people that they believe, or your defense team is proposing committed the sacrificial murder and sacrifice these girls, the Odinites. So let's point them. Whoever did this wanted to point them at the Odinites, okay, and get them off themselves. So they're not looking at you or anybody else. They're looking at the Odinites. Is that what could possibly have gone on here? Because we have an FBI agent for sure who said in writing, and I think she was an FBI agent for 12 years or more, that she believed that the crime scene was staged. Okay. And she said that.
I don't even know.
And put her name on it.
I don't even know. I had saved and we could, I don't know. I was going to go into it sometime. If you guys remember that other episode that we checked out, one of those videos, I was going to check out the one that's like 50 some minutes with you guys where there's basically an explanation from that channel. So I don't know. I don't listen to her anymore. I even skipped ahead on the interview from earlier that we went through. I got a press conference coming up. I want to show you guys what they were saying when they released this new drawing, because I don't know how that's one person. I just don't understand. I mean, the voice, I don't see it. My shirt's glowing. No, I have some lights underneath. I've had these lights for the whole time. I just hooked them up a couple days ago when I got the new studio setup completed on Monday when I got back from my trip. But a couple days ago, I just added them just to, I don't know, just to kind of give a little bit of. I got the neon behind me. I'm definitely trying to get some kind of other neon to go on the other side of me on this other camera, if it'll show, because StreamYard likes to. It's not going to do it, I suppose. Yeah. I need to fix this camera, though. It's too high and at an angle. But, yeah, I'd like to get another neon, like, right there or something. Like peace or something. Like a peace sign neon, on the other side. Having the peace sign behind you, too. Coffee and peace. Yeah. But I like this guy. I don't know. I don't think the drawing's the same. So I wanted to play the press conference on April 22nd, 2019 from Doug Carter. We had talked about it earlier. I'm going to play it tonight because I want to kind of go into some of these press conferences again and see like what's the wordplay here, especially with all of the paperwork that's came out, what's the wordplay here back at these press conferences before. And the first thing I want to check out is the press conference. Just one. I'll have another show in the future where we check out all the press conferences. But I want to see from this specific one, what's the wordplay on it? So we'll be checking that out after this.
Search warrant for Ron Logan's property and house. All right. So now it's very interesting, you got to understand, a lot of people probably have forgotten about, this affidavit that was used, to get the search warrant for Ron Logan. Well, we didn't. We have a copy. We know what's in it. Okay. We read it. All right. No doubt about it. That was staging. Okay?
Right.
That was not posing to make it look like the Odinites in some sacrificial kind of situation. That's my opinion only. Okay. I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. I could be wrong, but I've been right a hell of a lot more than I've been wrong. Believe me when I tell you. It looks like Ron Logan still has something to say here from the grave. I mean, you have to look at this through my eyes.
Okay. Let's hear what he has to say.
This is pretty wild, right?
Okay.
What, Ron Logan from the grave is coming back?
I need to add this to my playlist.
Because of his affidavit that they served on him to diminish the strategy, the defense strategy.
I like this guy.
Of focusing and pointing it towards the Odinites. I think it's pretty wild. And as far as all that information that was printed yesterday about all these girls and what happened to them and how horrible, the crime scene was, how horrible, the murders were and everything else. I think
right. That's true. Tuesday. Right. It was done during the day.
Take it. I think it was 66 pages.
Even though
put it in the
even though I don't necessarily agree with 100% of what dude's saying, I totally respect it, and I can totally see his point. I don't know. I still feel like the drawing was two separate people, and I don't think my mind will ever be changed on that. I think that's something that I've thought about it from the first day, and it's something that I don't ever see. I'm not going to say I'll never change my mind because I can be proven wrong as well. I'm not perfect. But I really don't see it, to me, that's why I'm going to be going into this press conference from back then. And then we're going to be checking out that Truth and Transparency, Vargas thing tonight too. So definitely go show some love over on Truth and Transparency's episode of the Vargas episode before we do check it out tonight. Drop a like, drop a share, and drop a message in the comment section and just throw some support over to Truth and Transparency. Great job. And I can't wait to check out that interview tonight with you guys. I appreciate it.
Better.
It is. It's too different.
All right. That's my.
I'm not going to say I'm never going to change my mind, but I'm just going to say I'm probably, I don't know. I can't say I'm never going to, you know what I mean? All right. So this is the press conference, and we're going to watch this. This is a press conference from April. Let me see here. April 22nd, 2019. This is the press conference where they first release the new sketch. Okay. So let's switch to this real quick. Go to full screen. YouTube, come on now. What are you doing, YouTube? It's got like a mind of its own here. There we go. Okay. Here's the link to this press conference if you want to save it to your playlist. I don't know. I guess I need to figure out a different way to somewhere else to put these lights or something. You know, I do have some that might look kind of cool. I do have like some neon strips, LED neon strips I haven't even used. I could always put one going around the outside of the TV so it kind of glows on the back of it too, I guess. Because I like having my TV with Jizzy G in front of it and the Evil CJ Show logo. I always wanted to have like a neon of the Evil CJ Show. I just don't have one. So I throw it on a TV screen of a TV I never use. So there's that. But I thought about like, I thought it might be kind of cool if I hook it up to something and I have like a fish, an animated fish tank in the background or something. Just have a fish tank going. Something. All right, here's that press conference. April 22nd, 2019. This is when they released that new sketch. Let me get rid of this. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate you. If you have anything you want to send to the show, send it to these locations, please. Harley, I'm not saying it's not. It's odd. You know what I'm saying? We'll be getting more into it. Trust me. And definitely check out, if you haven't checked out the other Delphi episodes we've done the last few days, please check them out. Also, I just made a new playlist of the On Location. So if you'd like to check that out too, here's the link to that if you want to save it to your playlist. We'll be going back again. I'll be hitting up Stephen Smith in Charleston, South Carolina, coming up here. And then we will be going back to Delphi. And then after Delphi, then I'm going to be going to East Palestine. And that'll be before or after Moscow, Idaho. So we'll be going to Moscow, Idaho, too, here soon. In about a month. We'll be in Moscow in about a month. But we got Stephen Smith, another Delphi, and Moscow, East Palestine, Ohio. All coming up in the next month and a half. 2 months.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is a 2-minute warning notice, 2 minutes, and we will begin.
My gosh, dude. Okay, I'm not doing that audio. Hold on. There's another one. I'm not doing that audio. That was horrible. Oof. Yeah, we're going somewhere else. Hold on. Well, I did make some highlights of a couple spots. I did put timestamps in that video as well. So if you do go to the On Location Delphi trip, I put in the timestamps of the different locations. Obviously, in between the grave site and the bridge, you're going to see the CPS building. Well, the old CPS building. You're going to see a lot of the in-betweens. But I did put the timestamps of when we got to each location that we stopped at for sure. So, and I can't wait to go back to the flower shop. I can't wait to get that wind chime. It's going to be cool. Okay, so this is another channel. Let's see, Fox 59. Hopefully this audio is better. That other one, damn, horrible. And if you want to see the highlight video of me paying my respects at the gravesite, I'll throw that link up here too as well. This has got to be better audio.
Wasn't sure quite what to expect when I walked out.
Whoa, it's not even that loud.
Say to the Delphi community,
Okay, maybe the other one was better. Give me a second. It's only coming through one ear. I don't understand. Is it only through one side for you guys? It put me back at the top again. I don't get it. I thought it was just the microphone or something. It's actually the whole system, maybe. Or maybe it's my audio only getting one. Let's see. Two-minute warning. Yeah, I take vitamins, but sometimes I miss them. I definitely need to make sure I don't.
Wasn't sure quite what to expect when I walked out, but I got to say to the Delphi community, how grateful I am. You inspire people you don't even understand, and you don't even understand why. Information is being released today is the result of literally thousands and thousands of hours of extraordinary investigative efforts by Delphi, Carroll County, the FBI, the Indiana State Police, and countless other agencies. This community surrounded us some 26 months ago, and you did everything you could to support us, but most importantly, you surrounded the family of these two little girls. Gosh, I'll never forget it. After you hear what we're going to release today, I'm going to ask for your continued support, your continued understanding, your empathy and compassion as we move forward to find out who did this, and we will. We're seeking the public's help to identify the driver of a vehicle that was parked at the old CPS DCS welfare building in the city of Delphi that was abandoned on the east side of County Road 300 North next to the Hoosier Heartland Highway between the hours of noon to 5 on February 14th.
And we drove up and down that road yesterday. What's up, Brad? We drove up and down that road yesterday. Definitely check out the timestamps. I don't know. It's just crazy. Crazy.
2017.
This audio.
If you were parked there or know who was parked there, please contact the officers at the command post at the Delphi City building. We're releasing additional portions of the audio recording from that day.
This is when
please
they
keep in mind the person talking is one person.
Okay.
And is the person on the bridge with the girls.
So they're saying this is when they released this, April 22nd, 2019. This is the press conference from it. This is when they're releasing this information. This is why I need to relook at this part here. They're saying one voice.
The person talking is one person, and is the person on the bridge with the girls. This is not two different people speaking. Please listen to it very, very carefully. We are also releasing video recovered from Libby's phone This video has never before been previously released. The video shows a suspect walking on the bridge. When you see the video, watch the person's mannerisms as they walk. Watch the mannerisms as he walks. Do you recognize the mannerisms as being someone that you might know? Remember, he is walking on the former railroad bridge. Because of the deteriorated condition of the bridge, the suspect is not walking naturally due to the spacing between the ties.
That's what they're saying, Yelly.
During the course of this investigation, we have concluded the first sketch released will become secondary as of today. The result of the new information.
Okay, listen to that. Now, I didn't remember this part from back then. The first sketch that they're saying, the first sketch that they released will now become secondary. Now in the paper, excuse me. Now in the paperwork that we read, the defense is claiming that somebody reached out to Ellie because it had been 2 years that they had given that second sketch that is getting released in this press conference. We don't know for sure because we're waiting for the rebuttal for sure, right? But they're claiming that the person that had the second sketch went to Ellie stating why and showing frustrations. She went to Ellie asking why that sketch had not been released for after 2 years. Now, listen to what they just said. Now, as of this sketch being released, the first one becomes secondary. I don't remember this.
Walking on the former railroad bridge. Because of the deteriorated condition of the bridge, the suspect is not walking naturally due to the spacing between the ties. During the course of this investigation, we have concluded the first sketch released will become secondary.
Right here.
As of today.
Secondary.
The result of the new information and intelligence over time leads us to believe the sketch, which you will see shortly, is the person responsible for the murders of these 2 little girls.
Okay. So the second sketch, doesn't it? Okay, when you're listening to these words, does it not sound like it's 2 different people? The first sketch becomes secondary. Now they're telling you that this sketch is the person that is the one. Well, then if the first sketch isn't the second sketch, why would you disassociate the first sketch when the second sketch is coming out? Why would you say the first sketch is secondary? Why would you highlight the second sketch being the sketch of the one that unalived the girls? To me, you're talking in code telling me that it's 2 different people.
Time leads us to believe the sketch, which you will see shortly, is the
Right
person responsible for the murders of these 2 little girls. We also believe this person is from Delphi, currently or has previously lived here, visits Delphi on a regular basis, or works here. We believe this person is currently between the age range of 18 and 40, but might appear younger than his true age. Directly to the killer, who may be in this room. We believe you are hiding in plain sight. For more than 2 years, you never thought we would shift gears to a different investigative strategy, but we have. We likely have interviewed you or someone close to you. We know that this is about power to you. And you want to know what we know.
Yeah, the bridge was old and
And
unstable.
one day, you will.
Yeah, it's two different.
A question to you. What will those closest to you think of when they find out that you brutally murdered 2 little girls? 2 children.
What?
Only a coward would do such a thing. We are confident that you have told someone what you have done. Or at the very least, they know because of how different you are since the murders. We try so hard to.
He seems like disturbed or frustrated. Disturbed or frustrated. Frustrated he can't say as much as he wants to say. Disturbed because of what he knows that he can't say. Something. This right here, that's like disturbed or frustrated. You're picking up the paper to kind of...
We are confident that you have told...
You know, you're picking up the paper to kind of like change what's going on in your head to try and calm it down. You're changing it up, and then you have that moment of frustration or just or you're yeah.
Told someone what you have done,
You just
or at the very least, they know
paper, like
because of how different you are since the murders.
Something.
We try so hard to understand how a person could do something like this to two children.
Something.
I recently watched a movie called The Shack.
The Shack.
And there's also a book that talks so well about evil, about death, and about eternity.
I mean, I
To the murderer.
I thought they were taken to a shack.
I believe you have just a little bit of a conscience left. And I can assure you that how you left them in that woods is not what they're experiencing today. To the family, I hope that you all will give them
What the hell is
some time, because we're going to be asking that there's no media inquiry or no media response for at least the next 2 weeks, and I hope you understand why. The family found out about this information this morning.
He's probably frustrated. He can't say
I just want
more.
the family to know that when I take my last breath on this earth, I'll be thinking of them. There's going to be a tremendous amount of questions. I know that. Never in my career have I stood in front of something like this. Please be patient with us, please. We're just beginning. We are just now beginning. And I can tell you on behalf of the sheriff and the police chief,
you're just now beginning? It's
so many other partners that have stood with us over this period of time, that we
2 years, a month, and
not
like 12 days.
Stop.
Okay, hold on a minute. What? That was kind of a weird, abrupt ending there. What?
That have stood with us over this period of time, that we will not stop.
And he just walks off. What the hell is it? What? No questions? He just walks off?
Why? The family found out about this information this morning. I just want the family to know that when I take my last breath on this earth, I'll be thinking of them. There's going to be a tremendous amount of questions. I know that. I know that. Never in my career have I stood in front of something like this. Please be patient with us, please. We're just beginning. We are just now beginning. And I can tell you on behalf of the sheriff and the police chief, so many other partners that have stood with us over this period of time, that we will not stop.
I just unveiled the person that we believe responsible for the murder of these two little girls. So I invite media to take a look at that now. It's not up. Kim.
It's not up. This is a very interesting press. I'm glad I looked it up. What?
We're also going to show you a video not previously released that superintendent spoke to, and also the audio that's additional to what's been previously released. It's only a slight change on it.
Here is
So give Sergeant Riley just a second as he gets that up and ready.
Here's the link if you want to add this to your playlist. I'm glad I looked this up. You know, I'm wondering, I want to see, like, and it would have to take some digging that I don't want to bore you guys with and pause the show. I would need to look up the press conference before this press conference, because I think that's going to be telling of why the dude just walked the hell off the podium. That was crazy. That was crazy. And yeah, I bet you, Michelle, the whole story won't be told, because it seems like it's pretty deep. You know what I'm saying? That was weird. I'm glad we looked at it. Oh, okay. I'm not. That's a horrible version. Court TV had it earlier. Everybody's heard it. You can definitely look up. I'm not going to play that version. It's horrible audio. But yeah, I wanted to check out that press conference. That's pretty interesting. That was a pretty interesting press conference, in a lot of different ways too. I kind of want to watch that again, right? Because that was all like, it was a whole bunch of what the hell. Maybe I need to like get another. It was only 10 minutes. I'm gonna watch it again. We'll put closed captioning up this time too. Hold on a minute. Did they just walk from behind the damn curtain? They walked from behind the curtain. Okay. Come on, YouTube.
Wasn't sure quite what to expect when I walked out, but I got to say to the Delphi community,
I wasn't sure what to expect when I walked out. Does anybody know the press conference before this press conference, what the date would be? Or if you have a link to the video, if you can send it to me, please, and let me know in chat if you send it. I'm wondering what the hell took place at the press conference before this press conference. You're going to, what? I wasn't sure what to expect when I came out. What? I wasn't sure what to.
Wasn't sure quite what to expect when I walked out, but I got to say to the Delphi community, how grateful I am. You inspire people you don't even understand, and you don't even understand why. Information is being released today is the result of literally thousands and thousands of hours of extraordinary investigative efforts by Delphi, Carroll County, the FBI, the Indiana State Police, and countless other agencies. This community surrounded us some 26 months ago, and you did everything you could to support us, but most importantly, you surrounded the family of these two little girls. Gosh, I'll never forget it. After you hear what we're going to release today, I'm going to ask for your continued support, your continued understanding, your empathy and compassion as we move forward to find out who did this.
Well, my biggest question is why wouldn't why would you take questions? You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, I need to see what happened at this, especially when you're coming out saying I didn't know what to expect when I came out. That's crazy.
Understanding, your empathy and compassion.
I don't know. This whole press conference is not. I'm glad I looked it up.
To find out who did this, and we will. We're seeking the public's help to identify the driver of a vehicle that was parked at the old CPS DCS welfare building in the city of Delphi that was abandoned on the east side of County Road 300 North next to the Hoosier Heartland Highway between the hours of noon to 5 on February 14th, 2017. If you were parked there or know who was parked there, please contact the officers at the command post at the Delphi City building. We are releasing additional portions of the audio recording from that day. Please keep in mind, the person talking is one person and is the person on the bridge with the girls. This is not two different people speaking. Please listen to it very, very carefully. We are also releasing video recovered from Libby's phone. This video has never before been previously released. The video shows a suspect walking on the bridge. When you see the video,
oh, I definitely feel like there was more than one involved for sure.
Watch the person's mannerisms as they walk. Watch the mannerisms as he walks. Do you recognize the mannerisms as being someone that you might know? Remember, he is walking on the former railroad bridge. Because of the deteriorated condition of the bridge, the suspect is not walking naturally due to the spacing between the ties. During the course of this investigation, we have concluded the first sketch released will become secondary as of today. The result of the new information and intelligence over time leads us to believe the sketch, which you will see shortly, is the person responsible for the murders of these two little girls. We also believe this person is from Delphi, currently or has previously lived here, visits Delphi on a regular basis, or works here. We believe this person is currently between the age range of 18 and 40, but might appear younger than his true age. Directly to the killer, who may be in this room. We believe you are hiding in plain sight For more than 2 years, you never thought we would shift gears to a different investigative strategy, but we have. We likely have interviewed you or someone close to you. We know that this is about power to you. And you want to know what we know. And one day, you will. A question to you. What will those closest to you think of when they find out that you brutally murdered 2 little girls? 2 children. Only a coward would do such a thing. We are confident that you have told someone what you have done. Or at the very least, they know because of how different you are since the murders. We try so hard to understand how a person could do something like this to two children. I recently watched a movie called The Shack. And there's also a book that talks so well about evil, about death, and about eternity. To the murderer. I believe you have just a little bit of a conscience left. And I can assure you that how you left them in that woods is not what they're experiencing today. To the family, I hope that you all will give them some time, because we're going to be asking that there's no media inquiry or no media response for at least the next 2 weeks, and I hope you understand why. The family found out about this information this morning. I just want the family to know that when I take my last breath on this earth, I'll be thinking of them. There's going to be a tremendous amount of questions. I know that. I've never in my career have I stood in front of something like this. Please be patient with us. Please. We're just beginning. We are just now beginning. And I can tell you on behalf of the sheriff and the police chief, so many other partners that have stood with us over this period of time, that we will not stop.
He just walks the hell off. I don't know, it's crazy. Again, I'm not going to play that audio because this version's horrible compared to the other one that we played. And it's out there, so it's not like it's hard to find or anything. So I'm going to play one more video, and then I'm going to end the show. I'm going to go ahead. The Vargas interview, we'll do that on the next show, because I'm going to be streaming all weekend in the morning and afternoon and evening. So definitely come and hang out this weekend. I'll be doing a bunch of streaming here in the studio before I go on my trip. So definitely an interesting press conference. If you know of the press conference before and you want to send it to me, please do. You can send it to any of these links down there at the bottom of the screen. Now, we've had Coach Kev on here before. I enjoy having Coach Kev. I'd like to hear his opinion on what he thinks of these papers. And we got a special show. We got some special shows coming up this weekend. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing a Stephen Smith recap where we're going to be going over the Stephen Smith case that I covered. I'm going to be going live on location next week for that. So we'll be doing that tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning, afternoon, I'm probably just going to be doing a daytime true crime show, just hanging out, getting through. I got a whole bunch of notes to go over the last week. So I'm going to be kind of breaking my notes down, going over the things that I didn't get to cover yet. Also, Sunday at some point, we're going to be live streaming the NASA. I'm going to be doing the sports show, and I'm going to be doing a show with Frosty and Frank and talking Delphi. And then I'm going to be doing a collab thing coming up here after my trip to Stephen Smith on location. I'm going to be going back up to Delphi after I come back, and we'll be doing a collab effort going there. And definitely need the boots for that one and the thick jeans. So it's a good thing that fall's coming up, because I'm definitely going to have to be layered up for the kind of exploring that I'm going to be doing there. So yes, come hang out. I'll be live all weekend for sure. And also, speaking of, after I end the show here, I am going to go hang out at the lounge and just kick back for a while. So if you're not subbed to the lounge and you want to still, you're going to still be up and you still want to hang out, I am going to be kicking it over at the lounge after this show's over. And I'm probably just going to be playing some games or something, or watching something. I'm not sure yet. I do feel like playing some game. I'm not sure what I feel like playing, but I'm going to be just hanging out over there for a little while after the show's over. So if you want to still hang out, come on and hang out. Be listening to music and different things. But this is Coach Kev. I want to hear what his opinion is on these Frank motions. He says, "My 2 cents. Let me know what you think, peeps." Coach Kev. Hold on, let me get the link. I thought I already got it. There we go.
Hey, what's up, peeps? Coach Kev from the porch. Nice cool day here in Pennsylvania. Back to
I like
work
this
tomorrow.
guy. He's awesome.
Fingers crossed I at least get to watch the Michigan game. We'll see, though. Ain't the worst thing in the world if I have to miss it. The Delphi
That's one
stuff,
thing that
right?
I'm...
all kind of fantastic, crazy
Come on,
things going
YouTube.
around.
That's one thing that I'm wondering, when I do my sports show, because I'm going to be doing the sports show once a week coming up now. Should I do it on a Saturday midday or Sunday midday? That's my biggest question. Do I do it during college, or do I probably should. I don't know.
And I'm not here to tell you whether they're true or not. I'll give you my opinion, but I can't tell you definitively.
Yeah, we're not
Personally,
at the
I don't see the Odinist thing. And here's a couple things that are interesting, I thought, with release that I don't hear anyone talking about. If you're the defense, right, and let's pretend that they know that he's guilty and are still trying, do their lawyer and whatever, they think he might be guilty. Anything that comes close to tying him, they're not going to include in that War and Peace novel that they put out. And I'm not knocking it. That was tremendous lawyering.
Good night,
Holy shit. Johnny Cochran's in his
Right.
grave giving 2 thumbs up, because that was really a thing, and it served its purpose. Could it be true? Absolutely, it could be true. Absolutely. I don't particularly think it is, because I lean on the backs of John Kelly, Pat Brown, the profiler, Dr. G. There's a couple other people that I've watched, and they're like laughing at this. I'm not laughing at it in any way, shape, or form, or anyone that thinks this is what happened. But here's a couple things to think about. I just want to point these things out. There's no mention of Keegan Kline at all in that document.
Right.
There's no mention
That's
of
true.
Ron Logan in that document. Now, I personally always thought Kline had some kind of involvement.
Right.
Probably not directly, but some kind of involvement. But there's no mention of it. Why wouldn't they mention that? Why wouldn't they mention that, hey, you thought it was Keegan Kline? You thought it was Ron Logan. You went to all these different people. Maybe there's some smoke where there's a little bit of smoke or lack of smoke in this case. That's one of the first things I wonder. I would put boom, boom, boom. Have to.
Right.
They should have made some kind of statement because this is being tried in a court of public opinion right now, and I don't know how you're going to get jurors for sacking them. Maybe everyone doesn't fall like we do, but I would think it's such a big story now with this Odinist thing. I mean, that's going national. You know, the cable places are picking it up and sharing it. When you do research, you're getting right away Fox and CNN hits, and I'm not looking for either of those channels for truth. No offense,
Right.
but things to think about. Why wouldn't
I
they
need
be?
to have
I'm
him
an
on.
attorney. I was never caught up, so on all this stuff, which is their job to do. Why wouldn't I mention when you put Ron Logan in jail for DUIs because you thought it was him? And in that search warrant that Agent Coffendorfer wrote, hope I said her name right, in that there was zero mention of any kind of Odinist ritualistic thing. She said the scene was staged.
Trust her.
And in
that
my
much.
opinion, what that means was it was staged to look like something else. If you go by the definition, the crime manual definition, the FBI definition, staged to deceive. No, did someone try to make that? I don't know. It's hard to determine. I've seen multiple pictures from different people. I haven't seen the real picture, but what you look at, it looks like it was kind of a stretch what they did. But who knows? Because we haven't seen the real picture, right? I haven't, so I'll reserve judgment on that. But listening to the professionals that I have faith in that are a lot smarter than I am and a lot more experienced are the ones that I'm leaning on. And some of them are like they're laughing about this. I'm not here to do that. Prosecutors, you watch a couple of those podcasts and stuff like that. But it's interesting, it's salacious, and it's doing what, in my opinion, what it's meant to do. And it's running through YouTube, and it's creating some really good conversation and commentary. It's creating some divisiveness again too. If you believe this is true, we could still be friends. You know, you might be right and I might be wrong. I'm just giving you my thoughts. So keep the debate going good, because there's some interesting talk going on both ways. I see both people's angles at it. In my opinion, I think it's just a little bit maybe to do about nothing. Did the police fuck some shit up? Yeah, I think so. It's going to look like it. But Doug Carter said early on, our first days weren't our best days. So, I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to give you my quick thought on it. If you care to comment, I'll answer you. Like I said, if you're into the Odinism thing and you think it's what happened, then that's fine too, because that's absolutely possible. I just don't see it. And like I said, based on the opinions and the research that others are doing and my own stuff, it's a little bit of a stretch to me. I said in my other live the other night about religions, you read all these people killing in the name of religion. No religion tells you to do that. I don't think there's any. Really,
Right.
There's not. I don't even think Satanists tell you to do that. I've never really studied Satanism, though. That's not my bag. So I could be wrong. But you have extremists on the fringe. And these are the people that fuck it up for everybody. The political parties. And you could have something like that here. Or I think maybe someone or he and others try to make it look like this after the fact. But again, no Ron Logan, no Keegan Kline in the affidavit or the Frank's motion that they just released. As far as I could tell, I didn't see any Ron Logan stuff. But why wouldn't you cite that search warrant? This FBI agent thought that he did it. She clearly thought that, or she put that in a search warrant because she thought he was involved, or he had evidence at his house, or maybe he helped after the fact. We won't know that probably know that soon, I think. So anyways, everybody keep doing what you're doing. Following all my favorite creators on this, whether I agree with them or not, because they put out really good content. I like to support them. So support your favorite creators. If you like this video, like it or share it or tell someone about it. I'll be doing some more stuff soon coming up. So I have some more announcements. And then Sunday morning, I have my football picks, which I did slightly better on this week. All right. Talk to you later, peeps. Coach
He's
Kevin.
got football picks on Sunday morning. Is it going to let me pause it or what? Thank you. That's cool, man. I need to let me leave a comment here and a like on the video. Just send out a shout out and let them know. I'd like to have them on some time to discuss these. More in depth for sure. All right. Well, yeah, I like this guy. I just reached out. I wanna have him on again, and I want to discuss these. And Yoli, if we can schedule it where we can get you on too, I'd love to go over these documents, have him on the show, kind of, and some of these other creators too, and kind of go over these contents and have like a power panel with these other creators and have them hang out and we kind of discuss these for an afternoon. Yeah, I do like the guy. We had him on for the first time a couple weeks ago. Shout out Coach Kev. Shout out Silky. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely want to have him on here again in the future. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this. We'll get into that Vargas interview that TNT had. It's 2.5 hours. It's already late, and I'm just going to hang out over at the lounge for a little while and just chill. Probably do some gaming or something. So just something to kind of change up, the work mode. Get some kind of relax. Just with all the work that we've done. Plus, I got a lot more work to do in the morning, going through all my notes and kind of getting everything prepared for the next week and a half to 2 weeks or so. So thank you all for hanging out tonight. I appreciate your company and your conversation. And if you want to come hang out over at the lounge, I'll be going live here in probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes or so. And we'll be back for that. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. Appreciate you. And I'll see you at the other channel, Evil CJ's Lounge. Just type in the search bar, Evil CJ's Lounge, if you didn't get the link. And here, I can drop the link real quick. 1 second. And I'll probably just be doing some gaming. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing yet. It's always up in the air over at the lounge. It's just a place to go chill. So I'll be over there for a little bit. I just need to get a little bite to eat and brew up some new coffee. And I'm going to go hang out there for a little while. See you in a little bit.